Hello, friends. Hope all of you are fine. I am Ajit Kumar, third year medical student from Government Thuthukudi Medical College. Today, I am here to discuss a interesting topic. It is nothing but regulation of gene expression. Actually, this is a very important hot topic that because the future of the genetics, that is human genetics, relies on the this concept. Okay, so we will move on to the topic. First, what is gene expression? Okay, so gene expression is nothing but the the manner in which the information on the gene is conveyed to formation of the protein. That's the gene expression. Okay, if we look into the picture, it is a cell which has a nucleus. In nucleus, we can see this is a chromatin. When this chromatin undergoes several modifications, they gets open into DNA. Now this DNA have several genes. This gene they undergo transcription. Okay, after undergoing transcription, they forms a primary transcript. Okay, now this primary transcript they undergo a process known as post transcriptional modification. Like there will be 5' end capping and tailing at the 3' end, and there will be splicing. Okay, after this modification, this mRNA is transported into the cytoplasm. Now this mRNA they undergoes another process known as translation. So by undergoing translation, this mRNA is getting converted into polypeptide. This polypeptide or a protein, it may be either complete or incomplete. If there is a formation of incomplete protein, they goes to the Golgi apparatus and they undergo post-translational modifications like acetylation, methylation, glycosylation, like that. Okay, and they become active protein. So this is the gene expression. Okay, the way by which the information of the gene is converted to a protein is known as gene expression. We know from learning about the mitosis that every cell in our body except your gametes, they contain all of your genetic information. Okay, but different cells in our body they perform different purposes. Like if you take muscle cells, they have their own function, and if you take liver cells, it has their own function, and the cardiac cells have their own function. But each cell they possess the genetic information of all the cells. Okay, for example, how does a cell, for example, if the liver, if you take liver, how does a liver cell knows which genes that I have to express for my function and which genes I have to dormant? Okay, so this can be answered by a process known as regulatory mechanism. Okay, this regulatory mechanism they evolved very early in the timeline of line on air, because this single celled organism they had an advantage if they expressed only the genes that code for the proteins that are needed by the cell in a given moment. I will make it simple. Okay, consider this as a one bacteria. This bacteria now it is present in an environment abundant of food source. Okay, this bacteria now they should stop the internal production of food source, because the outer environment have more food source. Okay, so in order to save the energy, this bacteria should stop its internal production. Okay, if the same bacteria it is present in another environment which does not contain a food source, this bacteria they should kickstart the production in order to survive. Okay, okay, this is the selective gene expression. Okay, this is very well explained in terms of operon model. Okay, one of the operon model is lac operon model. Let us see about lac operon model. Okay, this lac operon model was proposed by a famous scientist known as Francis Jacob and Jacques Monod. They both were Nobel laureates. Okay, they explained this lac operon model in E. coli. Okay, lac is nothing but lactose operon model. So first of all, what is operon? Operon is nothing but it is a linear arrangement of the genes. Okay, if you take this is one operon. It has a genes in linear arrangement. Okay, so this is about the operon. Okay, this lac operon model represents a gene expression at the level of transcription. Okay, let us see in more detail about lac operon model. This lac operon, they consist of mainly two types of genes. One is structural genes and another one is regulatory proteins. This structural genes, they have basically three. One is LAC-Z gene and LAC-Y gene and LAC-A gene. Okay, this LAC-Z gene, they encode a protein known as beta galactosidase. This enzyme is very essential for the bacteria to break down the lactose. Okay, and this LAC-Y gene, they encodes a protein known as permease. This permease facilitates the transport of the glucose and lactose molecules. And LAC-A gene, this LAC-A gene encodes a protein known as thiogalactoside transacetylase. Okay, this is about the structural genes of the lac operon model. On the other hand, we have another set of genes or proteins known as regulatory proteins. It comprises of LAC-I gene, LAC promoter, and LAC operator. LAC operator is nothing but it is a site for the repressor molecule to attach, and LAC promoter, it is a site for the RNA polymerase to act. Then the important one is LAC-I gene. Okay, it is also known as repressor gene. It is also known as repressor gene, and it encodes for a molecule known as repressor molecule. This repressor molecule, they are selective. They are selective for a particular operator. Okay, and it is produced by a gene that is a LAC-I gene. Before going to the mechanism, we should know about two important concepts regarding the lac operon concept. First one is the bacteria, that is E. coli. It prefers glucose as a better energy source irrespective of presence of the lactose. This is very important, guys. E. coli, they prefers glucose even in the presence of lactose. Okay, this E. coli, they prefer lactose only when the glucose is absent. Okay, so this one fundamental point is very important. Then second one is regulation. Okay, there is two type of regulation in the lac operon model. One is negative regulation and another one is positive regulation. What is negative regulation? Negative regulation is favored only in the presence of allolactose. Okay, this allolactose is nothing but a lactose molecule only. It actually deactivates the repressor molecule, so it leads to the transcription of the genes. So it favors the formation of that enzymes needed for the metabolism of lactose. Okay, so this is about negative regulation. And coming to positive regulation, it is done by a protein known as catabolite activator protein. This increases the transcription of the that genes. We will see in detail about this positive regulation. This positive regulation is done by a positive regulator known as catabolite activator protein. Actually, this catabolite activator protein is inactive in state. Okay, it will be active only when it is bound to a signaling molecule known as cyclic AMP. Okay, when the cyclic AMP, they goes and binds to this protein, they form a complex. Once this complex is formed, they goes and binds to a region on a CRE, which I will show in the picture. After binding to that region, they increases the affinity that RNA polymerase has for the promoter. Okay, and another most important concept is this cyclic AMP levels is high when the glucose concentration is low. Okay, so it indicates if the bacteria is present in an environment which is high in glucose concentration, the cyclic AMP levels will be less. Okay, so this is about the important concept we should not forget. Now we are going to see about the functioning of lac operon model in various conditions. Okay, first I will represent the structure. This is a lac I gene which produces a repressor molecule, and this is a CRE region which is nothing but the attachment site of the activator protein, and this is a promoter site to which the RNA polymerase will bind, and this is the operator site. To this operator site only repressor molecules will come and bind. Then these are the three structural genes. One is LAC-Z, LAC-Y, and LAC-K genes. Okay. First, we will see about the condition like no inducer. Inducer is nothing but lactose. Okay. What happens if there is no lactose? Okay. I said lactose will inhibit the repressor molecules, but here there is no lactose. So these repressor molecules, they form a tetramer and they goes and binds with the operator. Okay, so there will be no transcription of the LAC-Z genes. Okay, and next condition is presence of inducer and glucose. Okay, first there is a presence of inducer, that is a lactose. When lactose is present, this is the inducer molecule. They goes and they inactivate the repressor molecule. So now the operator site is free. Okay, now the operator site is free, but we have to think that this glucose is also present. If the glucose is present in the environment, it decreases the cyclic AMP levels. If there is decreased cyclic AMP levels, there will be no cyclic AMP catabolite activator protein complex. Okay, so there will be no transcription at all. Okay, then third condition is presence of lactose and absence of glucose. Okay, there is a presence of lactose, so these repressor molecules will be inactive, and there is also absence of glucose. It indicates there will be presence of high levels of cyclic AMP, so it will form a complex. This triangle one is the complex. This complex comes and bind to CRE region, which gives more affinity for the RNA polymerase. So there will be transcription and production of various proteins like beta characterosidase protein, perimase protein, and trans-acetylase protein. So this is about the lac operon model. Okay, I have said that lac operon model is one example for regulation of gene expression at the level of transcription. Okay, but this regulation can be done at the level of DNA also. Okay, for example, gene amplification, gene rearrangements, transposons, gene silencing, and epigenetics. Gene amplification is nothing but there will be increased number of copies of the gene that has to be undergoing transcription. So there will be more number of genes that undergoes transcription. Okay, next one is gene rearrangements. Okay, in gene rearrangements, if you take a gene will have different gene segments, and if there will be jumbled of if there is a jumbled gene segments, it will make a different combinations, and that different combinations can make different proteins. This method explains how different types of immunoglobulins are produced from a single gene. We have there are different classes of genes like IgA, IgG, IgM, Ig, like that. Those all the molecules are produced from a single gene. That is because of that gene rearrangements. Third one is transposons. We will see later. And there is gene silencing. It is also known as RNA interference mechanism. Okay. Then final one is epigenetics. This also we will deal later. Now transposons. These transposons are nothing but they are the mobile genetic sequences. Okay, they move randomly within the genome, so they are also known as jumping genes. Okay, almost half of the genomes are transposons. They are discovered by a great scientist known as Barbara McClintock. Okay, their main action is either they can activate or inactivate genes, and they can cause insertion or delete mutations. Okay, by this mechanism they regulates the gene expression. See this image here, there is a pale color, that is a DNA A, and another one DNA here, it's labeled as DNA B. The DNA B has some segment green color. This is nothing but transposons. Now these transposons, they are getting jumped into that another DNA. Okay, so it causes insertion mutations. Okay, so this is about the transposons. Then epigenetics. Epigenetics is a very important concept. They are reversible, more important, reversible and heritable chemical modification of DNA. Okay, basically it can be either DNA methylation or post-translational modification of histones. Okay, it was a recently discovered method of gene regulation. It is very important, guys. Let us see about DNA methylation first. DNA methylation is nothing but addition of methyl group to cysteine residues in the DNA. Actually, this DNA methylation, they leads to decreased gene expression. Okay, if that methylated DNA undergoes demethylation, they leads to the activation of the gene expression. Okay, this mechanism is carried out by an enzyme known as methyl transferases, and the important donor is SAM, nothing but S-adenosyl methionine. So this is a DNA that is a cytosine. In cytosine, in the presence of DNA methyl transferases, and in presence of S-adenosyl methionine, the cytosine residues get methylated. So this is about DNA methylation. Next one is histone colon modifications. Okay, histones are important proteins. They are very essential for the compactness of the genome. Okay, these histones, they have an important amino acid, like they have their lysine residues at their amino acid terminals. This lysine is actually a basic amino acid, so there will be they have more positive charges. If there is more positive charges, they gets attracted to DNA, because our DNA is negatively charged. Okay, once there is a formation or attraction between these lysine residues and the DNA, there the transcription cannot be occurred. Okay, so this histones, they undergo modifications like acetylation. If they undergoes acetylation, they favors the gene transcription. This is carried out by an enzyme known as histone acetyl transferases. Okay, if that histone undergoes again deacetylation, now they unfavors gene transcription. I will explain in the picture. So this is the histone molecules, and it has histone tails which is rich in lysine, so they are positively charged, and this blue one is a double helix DNA which is negatively charged. When there is a more positive and this is a more negative, they get attracted to each other, so there will be no transcription. Okay, so the gene will be silenced normally. Okay, if there is acetylation, that is adding of acetyl group to the histones, it will make the histones less positive. Okay, if the positive charges is reducing, there will be less attractions between these two, and it leads to the and it permits the transcription. Okay, so in short nutshell, gene which has to be silenced, they undergoes DNA demethylation and histone acetylation. So this is the importance of knowing epigenetics. In summary, we should know that gene expression can be done at both DNA and transcription levels. Okay, and very importantly, lag operand concept, because lag operand concept can be asked in your university exams either as a 4 mark, or this regulation of gene expression at the DNA level can be asked in your MCQ or 2 mark questions. Okay. In this lac operant concept, as a summary, uh, there is a 4 possibilities. First one is presence of both glucose and lactose. If lactose is present, there will be inhibition of the repressor molecule. So the operator site will be free, but the glucose is less. So there will be no cyclic AMP formation. Uh, then there is no complex formation. So the activator protein cannot bind to DNA. So the RNA polymerase, they cannot bind to the promoter site. So there will be no transcription. Then presence of glucose and absence of lactose. If there is no lactose, the repressor molecules, they go and bind to the operator site. And the presence of glucose indicates less cyclic AMP. So activated protein also cannot bind to the DNA. So there will be block for the RNA polymerase and there will be no transcription. Third condition, absence of both glucose and lactose. Okay, absence of lactose. So the repressor molecule can bind to the operator site, but decreased glucose, it favors the increased cyclic AMP level. Even though there is increased cyclic AMP level and the complex formation, the repressor molecule, they blocks the operator site. So there can be no transcription. And the fourth possibility is absence of glucose and presence of lactose. Okay, presence of lactose, they indicates that lactose, that is allolactose, they inhibits the repressor molecule. So the operator site will be free and the glucose molecule is also absent. Okay, it indicates there will be high levels of the cyclic AMP, which favors the formation of cyclic AMP and activator protein complex. Then when this activator protein they binds to the CRE region, there will be RNA polymerase increased affinity, so there will be transcription. Okay, guys, this is about the regulation of gene expression. And thank you, guys.